Hi everyone, and welcome back to Recap TV. In this video, I will be recapping a thriller movie released in 2015 called Even Lambs Have Teeth. Before we begin the story, I hope you're all having a wonderful and amazing day. Don't forget subscribe, like and share. The film begins with two very close best friends, Katie and Sloane, who are excited about an upcoming trip out of town. They plan to work for a month at a farm called Field Organic Farm so they can save money and later go shopping in New York City. The next morning, Katie's uncle Jason, who works as a police officer, picks them up. The girls plan to stay one night at his house with his girlfriend before heading to the farm. While they are staying there, Sloane comes up with an unusual idea. She suggests that they should use fake names while staying in the town, just for fun and safety. Sloane decides to call herself Heather, while Katie chooses the name Amber. The next day, Uncle Jason drops them off at the bus station where they will catch a bus to the farm. But before leaving, Jason gives them an important safety rule because he is worried about them. He tells Katie to send him a secret code word every day. If something ever goes wrong, he will know immediately. The first code word for the day is apple. After Jason leaves, the girls still have about an hour before the bus arrives. So they decide to wait at a nearby cafe. While sitting there, they meet two local men who say they are brothers. Their names are Jed and Lucas. The men seem friendly at first and even offered to drive the girls to the farm. Katie looks a little unsure about the idea, which honestly is a very reasonable reaction. But after some hesitation, they eventually accept the offer and get into the brothers' blue truck. Unfortunately, this decision will soon turn into a nightmare. Instead of stopping at the farm, Jed drives straight past it. At this point, the girls start to feel confused and uncomfortable. Soon they arrive at the brothers' house, where their mother welcomes them inside and offers them tea and pie. Everything seems polite on the surface, but something about the situation feels strange. Katie still sends her uncle a text message with the safe word, letting him know that everything is fine. But sadly, everything is not fine at all. The tea and food were secretly drugged. Within minutes, their vision becomes blurry. They realize something is very wrong and try to escape. But Jed and Lucas quickly knock them unconscious and drag them back inside. The next day, Katie and Sloane wake up chained in the middle of the woods. This is where the movie truly changes tone. What started as a simple road trip has now turned into a terrifying situation. Jed coldly tells them that from now on they will be living there. Later, their boss Boris arrives and checks Katie's phone. That's when he realizes the girls were lying about their names and that the word apple was actually a secret code. Shortly after, the town sheriff arrives, and this is where the story becomes even darker. It turns out the sheriff himself is part of a human trafficking operation. Meanwhile, Uncle Jason begins to grow suspicious when Katie sends the same code word 2 days in a row. That small detail immediately tells him something is wrong. He calls the farm where the girls were supposed to work and discovers that they never arrived. Now fully convinced that something bad has happened, Jason begins searching for them. Back, he finally makes a call to Sloane in Katie's place of work and learns that they never showed up for work yesterday. Convinced they are in trouble, he wishes to look for them, because the next customer that shows up is even sketchier than before. Jed and Lucas rush to cover their heads as the next customer walks closer. Pink masked dude picks Sloane and takes her inside the trailer. After he leaves, it is now Katie's turn to soothe the shaken Sloane. We don't know for sure what the pig Mazdu did to her, On next scene, Uncle Jason reaches the sheriff's office that comes face to face with the town's perverted sheriff, who we saw earlier here. We learn that the uncle is actually not just a cop. He is actually an FBI agent. Back in the woods, it becomes clear that the sheriff has already informed the kidnappers that Katie's uncle is actually an FBI agent. He also tells them that Katie lied about the safe word. Their boss Boris orders Jed to kill both girls and dump their bodies in the woods. While this conversation is happening, Uncle Jason continues his search. He decides to visit the cafe where he last dropped off Katie and Sloane. There, he asks the barista if he remembers seeing the two girls earlier. Luckily, the barista remembers them very clearly. He explains that the girls left the cafe with two men who were driving a blue truck. Back in the woods, Katie and Sloane overhear the kidnappers discussing their plan to kill them soon to hide the evidence. Realizing they may not have much time left, the girls decide to act. When the kidnappers leave and only one guard stays behind, Katie pretends to seduce him, but when he comes closer, she suddenly attacks and rips his throat with her teeth. It's a shocking moment that shows just how desperate they have become. The two girls finally free themselves and escape. They steal the sheriff's car and drive back into town. But instead of running away, they decide to do something unexpected. They choose revenge. One by one, they begin hunting down the people responsible for their suffering.
We need gas for this.
On the other side of town, Uncle Jason continues his investigation. He visits the town's car insurance office and makes up a story, claiming that he accidentally crashed into a blue truck and wants to find the owner. Meanwhile, Boris has just returned home, unaware that Katie and Sloane are already waiting for him. The girls suddenly ambush him and throw nail-spiked tennis balls at him, badly injuring him. Now the tables have completely turned. Boris begins begging for his life. He even offers them money if they spare him, but the girls are not interested. Back inside the house, Katie and Sloane start questioning him about the identity of the mysterious man who wears the pig mask. But when Boris refuses to reveal the truth, Sloane grabs a makeshift spear they created and brutally attacks him, eventually killing him. Not long after, Uncle Jason arrives at Boris's house. When he enters, he finds Boris lying there dying. At the same time, he hears the sound of a car engine outside. Jason rushes out, but it's already too late. Katie and Sloane drive away, while Jason quickly takes the badly injured Boris to the hospital. The next day, the sheriff informs Jason that Boris didn't survive. Now even more worried, Jason tries to call Katie's phone, but the sheriff suddenly realizes that his secret may be exposed, so he quietly pulls out his gun. Meanwhile, Katie and Sloane arrive at a church, and this is where another shocking truth is revealed. The man wearing the pig mask is actually the town's priest. Sloane walks into the church and finally comes face to face with the man who hurt her. With Katie's help, the two best friends manage to overpower him and bring him down. In a brutal act of revenge, they capture him, pour gasoline over him, and burn him alive. Meanwhile, the corrupt sheriff captures Uncle Jason along with two other young women. But just when things look hopeless, Katie and Sloane arrive in time. They capture the sheriff and force him into a terrifying game of Russian roulette before finally killing him. At this point, the girls have completely transformed. They are no longer victims. Afterwards, Katie and Sloane free the other women and tell them to untie Uncle Jason. When Jason asks the women who killed the sheriff, they refuse to answer. Katie and Sloane go to the house of Jed and Lucas's mother. There they trick her the same way she tricked them a few days earlier by drugging a drink. They then continue their revenge by killing Jed, Lucas, and even their mother, tied to a chair. But instead of killing him right away, they force Lucas to beat his own mother.
I told you we shouldn't be doing this shit.
When Lucas refuses, the girls kill him and later stage the In the end, they come up with a plan to blame all the murders on Lucas, making it appear as though he committed all the crimes himself. The mother begs for her life and even offers them money in exchange for mercy, but Katie shows no mercy. Sometime later, Jason drives the girls to the airport. Katie and Sloane finally leave for New York City, seemingly ready to start a new life after everything they went through. And that is where the movie ends.